Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of What I Did This Weekend by Olivia Julius. I opened my eyes and all I could see was a blurry world around me. I blinked a few times and waited for my vision to slowly clear and become normal again. Someone is awake! I heard Alicia say as she was getting up from the other side of the room. Did it work? I asked. My mouth felt dry, and I had to cough a little bit. I knew it was one of the most common side effects of changing your age. Yes, it did! Alicia said, "Congrats! You have my eyes." I rolled my eyes and looked up at the ceiling, finally focusing on my vision. "So?" I asked, "what am I?" "You are 10 years old," she said. "And?" I asked, probing a little more. "You are perfectly healthy." I looked at her, trying to study her face. "Tell me what gender I am now." I kept my eyes onto Alicia to see if she was going to start laughing and telling me that I was still a boy and that her cryptic response was just to get me panicked. Or she did not want to tell me that I was now a 10-year-old girl. "Please tell me," I said. My voice was a lot stronger than a few minutes ago, but it was higher pitched and softer than my old voice. Alicia sighed and released the cuffs that were around my wrist and ankles and helped me up off the medical bed. She waited for the few seconds I needed to get steady on my wobbly knees, and as carefully as she could she helped me walk to the other end of the room where there stood a full-sized mirror. Alicia let me go before I could see myself in the mirror, and I shakily walked to the mirror. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath as I took the last step. I counted to 3 and opened my eyes. I instantly backed up and fell on the ground since my legs were still too unstable. I imminently got up and looked back at the mirror to find a 10-year-old girl with long dark brown hair looking back at me. I blinked and the girl blinked her brown eyes at me. I tilted my head, and she did the same. I waved my hand, and she did the same. "No!" I said. "Yes!" Alicia said, squealing. "You are a girl now." I got up, repeating the word "no" over and over as I just looked over at the mirror. This could not be happening. This girl in the mirror could not be me. I could not be a girl. I placed my hand onto the mirror and watched for any hint that this was just a joke, that this is just a prank by Alicia. But then reality caught up with me and I started to panic. I felt the long hair and felt around my body, trying to think about what I could do. "Okay, this isn't so bad," I said, taking my hair and imagining it gone. "All I have to do is cut my hair real fast and you just have to put it down that I'm actually a boy on the notes and we will be okay." Alicia just shook her head no. "You know the rules," she said. 1. You can't do anything to your new body to make it look like the opposite gender. 2. You must dress and experience your time as the gender you are given. And 3. You must change your name to match your new gender. "I know the rules," I whispered. I had said those rules over a dozen times when I was in Alicia's position, but being in this position was different. "Does my mom know I am a girl?" I asked. "Nope," Alicia answered. "I figured you can tell her yourself. I just need a new name for you, and we will get you out of here." I nodded my head and looked back to the mirror. I got one. A few minutes later I looked at my new birth certificate. The name Zoe was written on it where my name should have been. Zoe, that was my new name. It felt strange, alien even. The reality of my transformation had begun to sink in, and I was still grappling with the shock of it all. As I sat in the small office with Alicia, I couldn't help but glance at the birth certificate over and over. It was official now, I was legally Zoe Sage Thompson. The name seemed to taunt me from the paper, a constant reminder of the irreversible change I had undergone. "So, Zoe," Alicia said with a supportive smile, "how are you feeling?" I sighed deeply, unsure of how to answer that question. My body felt different, and it was hard to come to terms with the fact that I was now a 10-year-old girl. "I don't know," Alicia. It's a lot to take in. She nodded sympathetically. I understand, Zoe. It's a big adjustment, but you'll get used to it. And remember, this was just for a class assignment. Once the weekend is over, you'll be back to your old self. I nodded, trying to take comfort in her words. Yeah, I just hope my family takes it well. I'm supposed to go camping with my dad, uncle, and cousins. We spent the next half hour going over the details of how I should act and what to expect during the weekend. It was all the same stuff I heard countless times, just those times I was the one reading the information from the clipboard. Once we got done with the usual checklist items, Alicia gave me a tank top to put on and motioned me to follow her. Alicia led me to the supply closet where we kept donated kids' clothes for the new kids to wear while they stayed kids. So, do you want to wear a dress first and get it over with? Alicia asked. She was practically hopping up and down, she was so excited. No! I said I want to be wearing as much tomboy stuff as possible. We walked into the closet and Alicia grabbed a suitcase from one of the shelves and unzipped it. She looked me over and grabbed a pack of girls' underwear from one of the shelves. I tried to look at the clothes on the left side of the room, that's where all the boys' clothes are, but Alicia forced me over to the right side where all the girls' clothes were. I stood awkwardly as Alicia looked at all the clothes on the shelf, pulling various items of clothing trying to see if I would like something. My heart sank with each frilly dress and floral patterned shirt she presented. Finally, she held up a pair of jeans and a pink shirt with a lettuce ruffle. How about these to go home in? She asked, holding them out to me with a hopeful smile. I guess, I said, taking them. At least they're not too girly, and at least it's not a dress, or a skirt. Alicia handed me the clothes, and I quickly changed into them behind a privacy screen she had set up. As I emerged, dressed in the outfit, I felt a sense of comfort wash over me. It was familiar, reassuring, amidst the chaos of my new reality. Alicia didn't notice me at first, she was too busy putting clothes into the suitcase for me. I winced when I saw her put a pink dress inside the suitcase. She closed the suitcase and finally looked up at me. You look great, Alicia said, offering me a genuine smile. Now, let's go find your mom and fill her in on everything. Together, we made our way out of the lab and headed towards the waiting room where my mom was patiently waiting. I held the handle to the suitcase, allowing it to roll behind me as we walked. Before we got to the waiting room, Alicia stopped me at the double doors. Wait here, I'll tell you when to come out. She whispered as she walked ahead of me. As Alicia disappeared through the double doors, I stood there, feeling a mixture of anxiety and anticipation churning in my stomach. The weight of the situation pressed down on me, and I couldn't shake the feeling of unease. I walked to the doors and looked out of one of the small windows. I had to stand on my tippy toes so I could see out into the waiting room. Alicia found my mom and I could hear her faintly tell her that I was done with my procedure, and that I was now a kid again. Mom asked to see me, and Alicia looked back at the doors. I wondered if she was going to tell Mom that I was now a girl or not. I just sighed and opened one of the doors and stepped into the waiting room. Mom stopped talking to Alicia and looked at me. Eric? She asked, disbelieving that the girl standing there was me. It's me, Mom, I said, and for the weekend I guess I am Zoe.